Thomas Jefferson once said, "The care of human life and not their destruction is the only object of good governance." As the scourge of crime will lead to national destruction if it is not arrested, let us make this national responsibility as everyone in the Bahamas, as a collective responsibility that we all will share. That people will be safe in their homes, in their workplace, in their travels, and in their family activities. Today, we share our tough, bold initiative on anti-crime and violence. This plan is a plan that encourages all Bahamians to join us as we continue our fight for the soul of our nation and the creation of a safe Bahamas. As part of our project Safe Bahamas, the Progressive Liberal Party proposes something called saturation patrols. Saturation patrols in hotspots for criminal activities as a preemptive strike against illegal activities, against crime and violence. We understand that it is not enough to find and capture people after the crime has been committed, but we have to stop the crime from happening in the first place. To this end, saturation patrols are an effort to do just this, to saturate the streets where the majority of criminal activities occur, with an end to preventing crime, not capturing criminals, preventing crime, stopping murders, stopping rapes, stopping housebreaking, stopping burglary, stopping people from feeling fear in their own homes. We know that this works. There must be an aggressive and sustained approach to reducing violence and crimes against personal property as a matter of national urgency. This is something that we care about now. The urgency is because evidence now tells us that in pure human terms, it is a compelling and literally paralyzing our country with fear. People don't want to go out, they don't go to church, they're not out in the evenings, they don't let their children play. We don't feel safe in our own homes. You've seen the recent news headlines: father and son shot in the face, 3 murders in less than 24 hours, a woman murdered while walking her child on this same road, a woman robbed at gunpoint in San Souci, a woman robbed at gunpoint in Eastern Road, 20-year-old shot to death. The murder spree continues. When will it stop? At least we should be able to take care of our women and our children. The first goal of a nation state is to protect and prosper its people. At least we should be able to take care of our women and children. And more alarming is this unprecedented homicide rate. In 2007, there was a record-breaking 78 murders. Now we find ourselves at the end of 2011, and we have a record-breaking 118 murders. That is almost doubled under a 4-year period. Doubled in under a 4-year period. According to Mr. Christie, our leader, this is an intolerable state of affairs, and one that demands immediate and sustained attention from all of us, from the government right down to the ordinary citizen, right down to every resident. And we are here today to say that we agree. And we're not just here to talk about it, it's now time to do something about it. The PLP is the only party, I'll say it again, the PLP is the only party in this country with a comprehensive plan to fight crime, reduce violence. The F&M plan, which they talk about but no one has seen, will be too little and too late, with little or no emphasis on prevention and certainly no emphasis on rehabilitation. The DNA has issued no proposals, just criticisms, to prevent crime or to rehabilitate criminals. Their meager offerings focus only on judicial reform. We're afraid that's not enough. In addition to saturation patrols, Project Safe Bahamas also proposes Operation Ceasefire, which is a set of initiatives that includes a focus on repeat offenders and increased surveillance all around the Bahamas with those people on bail. Increased surveillance with those on bail. We're not going to let people on bail repeat offenses. I call on all residents in communities across the Bahamas to do their part in taking control of their streets, of their neighborhoods, of their blocks, of their home settings, by forming strong social partnerships with their local police and other organizations within the community. And let us show that we are still our brother's keeper. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. The difference between what the Progressive Liberal Party is seeking to implement is one of coordination and sustainability. If you look at Project Safe Bahamas that the Progressive Liberal Party is seeking to implement, if you were to look at actually what exists now, it has all been ad hoc and it has been more or less hodgepodge. What we're seeking to do is, if you look at the Carmichael Road, for instance, you would see that this is the fastest growing community in the entire Bahamas, southwestern New Providence. As a matter of fact, they've had so many communities in this area, and under the Free National Movement government over the last 4 to 5 years, there has been no kind of shift in terms of resources of government, not only in terms of national security, but in terms of health and the like. What the Progressive Liberal Party seeks to do is to ensure that there is no uncoordinated approach to dealing with crime in this area. Just to give you an example, part of this Carmichael area consists of the Gladstone Road area. And every so often, the police would find a dead body in that area. When we speak of saturation patrols, as Mr. Johnson indicated, the idea is to ensure that there is continuity of patrols so that you actually prevent the crimes or prevent these things from happening in these areas in the first place. As a matter of fact, in the Carmichael area, you now have break-ins occurring in double digits per week.
Right.
And that is a cause for serious concern because first you have instances where you have the petty crimes, then they go up to the break-ins, and then obviously you have the home invasions. And that is the major concern for many persons here in the Bahamas, where we need a sustained approach, and that is what we're offering in our saturation patrols. Well, if you look at right now what's going on, the Free National Movement has not introduced a comprehensive approach which relates to their idea of what patrols really should be in the first place. And this is what is actually contributing to the burnout of officers. Because of the high level of crime right now, they have actually asked the different stations to form what is called an operation called Rapid Strike, in which case they're actually pulling officers from the different stations to form a strike team that goes around. But when you do that, you're actually taking away the resources of the outstations, which means that once you deplete them, you're back to square one. That is what is going on right now. We're talking about restructuring the entire organization in terms of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, in terms of national security, so that at the end of the day, we have our Operation Ceasefire, and we also have our saturation patrols, so that there is continuous patrol in these communities day and night. Well, the thing is that this is part of our ongoing initiative, and it's only the saturation patrols and Operation Ceasefire is part of our major Project Safe Bahamas. And as part of that component, we're also looking at introducing urban renewal 2.0 in this area as well. So I believe that with the urban renewal, coupled with our Swift Justice Initiative, coupled with the saturation patrols, I think that we would go a very long way in terms of fighting this crime problem.